The chapter opens in the Holy Land, Mary Joa's, the capital of the world government. Kuma has climbed up the red line and is breaching their defenses. Guards try to stop him in vain as Kuma unleashes his Ursus shock attack, completely annihilating them. In the distance, a shadowy figure steps forward. A bewildered Akainu yells out, "What are you doing here, Kuma?" He wonders to himself what could motivate a weapon with no consciousness to come all the way to Mary Joa's. He grumbles that just the other day, it was the Revolutionary Army. Akainu grits his teeth as he notes the historic level of destruction and squares up to fight Kuma. A royal guard tries to get Akainu's attention and shouts, "Fleet Admiral Sakazuki!" but is promptly pushed to the ground. We see a fancy boot step on his helm as he grunts in discomfort. It is one of the noble celestial dragons, known as Tenryuubito, screeching, "What a useless bunch of soldiers!" The other Tenryuubito gripe behind him as well. One worries about their food supply, having just ordered lobster. The others say that they are injured and command Akainu to hurry up and execute Kuma, who is nothing but a slave. Akainu yells out to Kuma, who is still mindlessly laughing. He tells him if they can't control him, Akainu cannot allow him to be on the loose. He screams at the panting Kuma that someone like him is practically dead and demands to know where he's heading. He performs his Megu Hellhound attack, the same one he previously used against Whitebeard. Kuma grimaces in pain as part of his face melts. Akainu seethes. "Seems like you still got blood flowing inside you." Kuma, injured with his body smoking from the last attack, chooses not to defend himself. He turns and begins to stagger away. As Kuma breaks into a full run, Akainu yells at him to stop. We see Kuma's bloodied leg make him wince in agony. Despite this, he manages to disappear. Akainu silently scowls at letting him get away. We flash back to Akainu's memory 2 years ago, after he had captured Bonney. The latter is chained to a pillar and struggling on the floor. Akainu tells her that her howling is futile and will not bring back Kuma's mind. He shouts, "He himself volunteered to become a combat weapon." Bonney screams that he is a liar, refusing to believe her father would ever volunteer for such a thing. Her voice rings out in the present-day scene, where the Tenryuubito realize that Kuma is gone. They chastise Akainu, asking him how a supposed fleet admiral could lose Kuma. Akainu hears Bonney's voice saying there's no way Kuma would leave her behind. Akainu, clearly troubled by Kuma's actions, mutters to himself, "You're just a puppet now." He continues that Kuma has lost his will and mind, so where could he possibly be heading off to? The scene shifts to the New World, on Egghead Island. We return to the battles of the last chapter. The Marines are screaming to destroy all the sea beast weapons as their ships topple over. Simultaneously, the pacifistas are firing their lasers. Marines scream as they are devoured by the sea beasts darting menacingly underwater. On land, the Marines have reached the Fabrio phase. They are ordered to occupy the island and are notified that Kizaru has managed to breach the Leba phase defenses. Finally, we are brought back to the epic battle between Luffy and Kizaru. We see Kizaru fly back from Luffy's attack as he comments, "You certainly are the man who defeated Kaido." He continues by admitting that Luffy is a formidable opponent, but he cannot understand why a pirate would be protecting Vegapunk. Luffy retorts that he has a similar question in mind. Kizaru blocks his attack with his hands. They are both using color of arms hockey. Luffy shouts, "Why do you guys want to kill Old Man Apple?" As Kizaru flies away with tremendous speed to charge his next attack from a safe distance, he yells back, "Kill him!" We see Kizaru panting as a frustrated Luffy exclaims, "How far did he fly?" As he charges up, Kizaru remarks, "Obviously I don't want to kill him. I've known Vegapunk for a long time." He tells Luffy not to get in his way. Kizaru yells out, "Acceleration is power!" as he delivers a kick at full speed. Luffy tries to brace himself for the attack, and Vegaforce 01 looks up in fear. Kizaru remembers Vegapunk introducing Vegaforce 01 as humanity's giant robot of dreams. Vegaforce 01 anticipates the attack and tries to fly away. Franky, who stayed behind with the robot, screams out to Luffy. Luffy blows through the robot like a bullet, destroying it completely as the Thousand Sunny is flung aside onto the island clouds. We hear cackling as the others yell for Franky and Bonney to run. As they run, they process that Lilith is their nemesis and that the Vegaforce 01 is destroyed. They grieve their lost dream and wonder if the Thousand Sunny is okay. A boot steps out in front of Franky, who yells, "Kizaru, you bastard!" Kizaru purrs. "You've grown so much, Bonney!" As she scowls, he informs her that he has orders to assassinate the one she has a grudge against, Dr. Vegapunk. Bonney yells that her target has changed and lunges at Kizaru with Toshitsuki, Trace Death Thrust, but he dodges her attack. He warns her, "Please don't make me hurt people I know more than I already have." She screams and charges forward. Franky yells out and tries to warn her that she is headed for the barrier. Unfortunately, he is too late and she crashes into it with an explosion as Franky cries out and curses Kizaru. As the dust settles, Franky realizes that Kizaru has disappeared and warped to the Stella. He desperately tries to radio the command room. Meanwhile, in the Laba Phase command room, Usopp asks Franky if everyone's okay having heard Bonney's explosion. Nami is in disbelief as Vegapunk, Stella, and Atlas celebrate that they cracked the code. Vegapunk York curses at the geniuses for ruining her plans. Usopp keeps trying to contact Franky, telling him that the barrier can be disabled. He asks if they managed to bring the Vega Force 01 and the ship to the back of the island. When a sinister voice answers, Kizaru announces that the Vega Force 01 has been destroyed and their plans have been foiled. Brook, Usopp, and Nami, as well as Vegapunk, Atlas, and Stella, scream and run around panicking. Kizaru, who was standing silently in the middle of the chaos, addresses the Stella and says, "This is a tough mission for me too. I don't want to drag this on too long." Suddenly, we hear a loud whack. As the ceiling had already been destroyed, we can see a giant Luffy looming above in his Gear 5 awakened form, grabbing Kizaru with his fist. The latter writhes in pain as he burns. Usopp, Nami, and the Stella are in complete shock. Kizaru, on the other hand, seems almost expectant and looks towards something saying, "It finally appeared." We hear Luffy bellow at Kizaru for sending him flying all the way down, saying he had to cross the barrier twice and thought he was going to die. The chapter ends with a close-up of the ancient robot. It powers up upon hearing Nika's heartbeat, and its eyes glow ominously.